Hey guys, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video showing you my Nepenthes Ventrata plants that I got from Lowe's, or it might have been Home Depot, I can't remember. Lowe's or Home Depot last year, I believe in October. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you the plants real quick here, and then I'm also going to be separating these guys for you and then repotting. I think I have 5 basil shoots here that I'm going to be separating that are all kind of coming out of the bottom, and I'll show you those here in just a second. But those are going to be what I'm repotting here. So take a look real quick. You can see how much the plants have grown. I don't have them in my grow room right now, so you can see them a little better. But there you go. You can see this one's really extended out. That one's growing really tall. And then this one over here hasn't grown as tall, but look at all the baby pictures down there. It's really cool. And it's growing out kind of awkwardly because there's a weird basil shoot here that came off, and then I think that the main plant got cut off at some point. Not by me, but then you see here it is growing some pictures. One of the reasons I wanted to get these basil shoots separated mostly is this one over here is really growing nicely, but it's not producing any pictures on the main plant. You can see that these basil offshoots here, they're producing tons of pictures, like tons and tons of pictures. I think there's probably like 12 or 13 pictures in there. All in all, you can see there's a little green one right there. I don't know how good that's gonna pick up in the sunlight, but yeah, so we'll be separating these guys. I'm gonna actually have to employ the help of my wife so she can kind of video for you guys while I'm getting into the plants in there. You can see in there the shoots. And let me show you those real quick here, so you can kind of show you what I'm going to be doing. Let's scoot up here just a little bit. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit so we can see in here a little bit better. Let me let a little more light in. So you guys can see right there, this one here is the main stem, right there. And then you can see back behind there, there's actually 2, let's see if I can get in there a little better. There you can see that there's actually 2 stems. One right there, and then one over there. So we're going to actually separate those guys from this main stem here and then repot those. And actually it's kind of funny because the process of this is actually super simple. Actually I think this one has 3 now that I'm looking at it. There's one to the right, one in the middle, and then one all the way to the left, and then the one over here only has 2. But all we really do is we get in there, we clear out the sphagnum moss the best that we can, and we go in with a pair of trimmers and we just clip that off as close as we can to the main stem, and then we just pull that out, we wrap it in sphagnum moss, and then we plant it into the potter, and then yeah, we're good to go. So I got some pots on Amazon, which I have a link for in the description, just some plastic pots, and I'll show you those here in just a second that we're going to go ahead and put those in. But you can see how all of these pictures here are all coming from the basil shoots. So and then this one over here, I'm going to move over here real quick for you so you can see this one. So this one here is a little bit easier to see because it's a little more out in the open, but you can see that there are 2. One on the left, the one in the middle is the main one, and then that one to the right there closer to the chain. There, middle is the main, left is another offshoot. So you can see this one is producing tons of pictures too. The pictures on this one aren't as big, but that's a pretty nice one right there. That's a big one. Got another one back there. You can see, and then it's grown some new ones here. This one is actually, the main plant is actually still producing pictures. You can see right here, there's a picture there. But there's only 2 basil shoots, not 3, and I think that might be part of the reason. Also, I'm sorry about the wind. I wanted to shoot this inside because of the wind, but I just couldn't get enough light and enough table space for these plants, so I had to do this out here. But so yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get down in there with a pair of trimmers, and we're gonna cut these guys off and then repot these Nepenthes Ventrata. One thing I wanted to call out too is I told you guys this one is in pure peat sphagnum mix. There's no long fiber sphagnum moss in here. And the difference that I've noticed between this one and then the other one over here, this one actually is planted in mostly long fiber sphagnum moss. I had to fill in a little bit with the pea moss because I didn't have enough, but the biggest difference that I have found is that it seems like this plant hasn't grown as much, but it has grown more on the main stem, and it's also produced a pitcher. Whereas this guy over here, the main plant, the main stem hasn't grown as many pitchers or anything, but it has produced 3 basal shoots, and they do seem like they're a little more healthy, and the pitchers are much larger. So I think overall the sphagnum moss has done a little bit better. The other thing that I've noticed too is that I need to water that one less. The sphagnum moss seems to really retain the moisture a little bit better. It stays wetter longer, which is kind of obvious, right, with the different substrates. But this peat moss mix here, I've had to water it significantly more than I have the other one. That also could be too that this one's a little bit bigger of a pot. This one's significantly larger. This one over here is a little bit smaller, which also will make a difference in how much you have to water it. But yeah, so far those are kind of the big differences. And honestly, if I had to pick one, I think I would pick the just the long fiber sphagnum moss. So, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be planning in mostly today. I'm filling up the pots in half peat moss, perlite, silica sand mix, and then I'm putting the rest in with long fiber sphagnum moss, and I'm actually making sure that the plant itself is planted inside the long fiber sphagnum moss. So that's what we're going to be doing. But okay, guys, I'm going to get my wife to help me out here, and then we're going to get to cutting these guys so that we can get them repotted. Okay guys, real quick before I get into the actual cutting part here, I wanted to just say a couple things. I wanted to kind of let you know what you're going to need, and also real quick, just wanted to thank you guys for being here, working on starting my own carnivorous plant nursery here someday, and you being here is really supporting that dream, and I appreciate it and thank you a lot. If you could give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, all those things are really important in helping me with my dream. So just again want to thank you for being here, but let's go ahead and get into what you're going to need. So you're going to need a pair of trimmers. I got these on Amazon because my other ones broke. I think they were like 12-13 bucks, so they're pretty affordable, but they actually work really well. So I'll have the link for the description in there for you guys. And then also I got some planters here. You can see I have 5 of them ready to go with some peat moss in the bottom. We're going to plant these guys in long fiber sphagnum moss, but yeah, you can see that yeah, I got them all ready to go. A little bit bigger pots than what these ones originally came in, but yeah, so let's go ahead and dig into these guys here and start cutting. Okay guys, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get down here to find these basal shoots, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull away as much of the substrate as we can here so that we can get down and we can actually see. Oh, look, there's another one coming up right there. Another one that's coming out that will have to be cut off in a little while, but we're not going to go after that little guy here. We're going after this one presently. So we're going to get down as far as we can. I'm going to pull this back a little bit, get my trimmers, and we're going to get in here. We're gonna cut that guy off. I'm gonna try anyway. There we go. So there we go. The plant. We'll wrap this guy up in sphagnum, and then we'll plant him in one of these guys. Let's go ahead and get the rest of them here. So this one looks like it's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna move this pitcher aside. Okay, that one's got a lot of pitchers on it. It's a nice one. So we'll get this guy potted. So let's go ahead and move on over to the other plant. Okay guys, sorry about that. I actually had to change locations. There was lots of dogs barking, the wind was blowing, and a lot of the kids are outside playing, which is actually a really good thing. I don't mind the kids out playing, but just not great for shooting a video. But I'm back inside now, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys cutting the second plant here while I'm inside. So I'm gonna try to move this aside a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So the main plant is this one right here. So this first shoot is coming off of the main plant right there. So you can kind of actually see that one a little bit better than the other ones. So I'm gonna cut that one right there. This one's actually really small compared to some of the other ones. Let's see here. There's one there. It's got a brand new pitcher and another one coming in. It has some growth off the top. Sorry, I don't think that was focused. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna set this one down. And let's try to get back in here. So the second one is right, it's actually a leaf in the way here. I'm gonna try to move that. It's right there. You can see that one. I'm gonna go down as far as I can on that one. Let's see if I can get down a little bit. There we go. That's a big one. This one has a lot of pictures on it. That's like almost like a full, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll bring it down here, there we go. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 almost full grown pictures. That's a really nice one. Set that there for just a second. Okay, we got one more here. So now that those are moved out of the way, it's actually a lot easier to see. So what we need to do is we actually need to move some of this here. There we go. Go straight down here. Lay a little more. There we go. There we go. There's another one. That one has a couple of really nice pictures on, but you can see that the majority of this plant that was growing was this big one here. This is a big one. Go. Okay, so they're all cut. They're separated. As you can see, there's no more basal shoots coming out here. This is all the main stem. So I'm gonna leave this one here. Hopefully this one will start to get more pictures on the main plant now that we've removed some of these basal shoots. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and move this plant back, and then we'll get to repotting these guys. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, guys, check it out. Here we go. Here's all my planters. Here's all my freshly cut Nepenthes babies. Nepenthes Ventrata, in case you were wondering. You can see they have the red and the green. Cool little pictures. So these are all Nepenthes Ventrata. These are all cut off of 2 big main plants. So I'm going to actually put them in here. I have my sphagnum moss over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this on a tripod real quick, and let's go ahead and get to potting these guys. Okay, guys. I'm all situated on the tripod, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm just going to go ahead and take this guy first, and let's go ahead and get him wrapped up. So what you want to do, you want to take your pot. You can see I already have, like I said, I have half peat moss in here. And honestly, the big reason I did that is because the long fiber sphagnum moss is just a little more expensive. And I think really it's just important to make sure that your plant is wrapped up in that. I think it's okay to have half of your substrate be this, because this is still very well aerated. The water will travel through this. It doesn't really sit in there. So I think as long as you're using the long fiber sphagnum moss to wrap your plant up, I think you're totally okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy here, and I have some long fiber sphagnum moss down here sitting, so I'm gonna take it, and we're just going to wrap this guy up in it, like this. Okay, you wanna make sure that that whole part that you cut is completely wrapped up. Now it's not going to sit in there. There's not a big root system yet. Obviously we just cut it. And actually Nepenthes don't have giant root systems anyway. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna take some of this here, put it in the pot, like so. Down in there. And then we're gonna make just a little bit of a spot here. And we are going to put this guy right in there, like that. There we go. Get the pictures out if you can. You probably won't be able to right at first. Push them down just a little bit. I'm gonna put just a little more moss in here just to kind of fill it in a little bit. Go. A little bit right there. Like that. Looks like there's a little hole over here too, so we'll put the rest of it right here. Okay. Bring this guy out again. Get this all tucked in. Now this is sphagnum moss that I got from Flytrap store. It's really good high quality stuff. I want to say it was a and I'm probably gonna mess this up. I think it was a Chilean mix of sphagnum moss. I might have messed that up, and I'm sorry if I did, but yeah, you can totally get some of this from Flytrap store. I recently did a unboxing video with fly traps from there. They are beautiful and I love them, so highly recommend them. So then, guys, what we're gonna do with each of these is we're gonna give them a really big drink, probably more than I would normally give them, just because we want those roots to take. So I got my core gear here. I don't know if you can see it. Core gear. Link in the description for this mister as well. These are really nice. I really like these. So I'm just going to top water these. Make sure they get really nice and moist. Make sure that stem gets a lot of water so that it can start to promote that really good root growth. Now that we got this in the sphagnum moss. So, and I'll probably water this one again too before the night ends. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of these in. I'm just gonna throw this thing in fast forward. I don't think there's a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and just get them in, huh? Okay guys, there we go. So we have 5 beautiful Nepenthes Ventrata plants that have been repotted, separated. These were all basil shoots, as you saw at the beginning of this video. So these were all part of 1 or 2 bigger plants, and now they will be their own plants. So I still need to do a little bit of watering. I skipped watering on a couple of them. Also, this one actually needs a little more sphagnum moss. You can see I didn't quite give that one enough, so I'll need to add a little more to that one. But yeah, guys, that's absolutely beautiful. This is really cool. I'm really excited to have all these guys. It's going to be a little more work. It's going to require a little more water, but this is why we do this, right, with carnivorous plants. So I'm actually going to take these guys now and put them outside, let them soak up some sun tonight before I bring them back in, and put them under my lights. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about this process, throw your question into the comments. Also, everything that I used today for this links are in the descriptions. If you guys want to check out the pots, the trimmers, my mister, all that stuff, make sure and check that out. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I appreciate it so much. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and hopefully I'll be bringing you another video here real soon. I do have to repot my other Nepenthes Ventrata that I got from Lowe's a long time ago. That one's due for a repotting, so I'll probably be doing a video on that here real soon. I think I might be doing another video on soil mixes pretty quick. I've been collecting some data for that, so stay tuned for that, especially in regards to Venus flytraps. But again, thanks guys for being here, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye.